Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar. We're so excited that you guys could join us. Today we'll be presenting on microplastics and the pressing effects on our planet and how we can mitigate their impacts. As for some quick introduction for our webinar, my name is Serena Bankowski, and I'm the Teen Ambassador based in Virginia for the Plastics Oceans Hub here at the Global Collab Network.
Hello everyone, my name is Bhavya Parasar. I'm a teen ambassador with the Plastics and Oceans Hub at the Global Coconut Network, and I'm joining you today from India. I'm really glad to be here with you as we talk about microplastics, their impact on our environment, and the role we can all play in creating a more sustainable future.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Samart Dyer. I am the secretary with the Plastics Oceans Hub, and I am based in California.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sharon. I'm from New Zealand, and I'm the mentor here with the Plastics and Oceans Hub.
Yeah, I'm just like to shout out two members that couldn't make it here with us today. We have Tado from South Africa and Oisha from Pakistan. To begin, we'll be doing a quick intro on what microplastics really are. So microplastics are defined by being plastic particles between 1 nanometer to 5 million nanometers big. For size comparison, that's around the width, if not smaller, of a single human hair. Microplastics are found all around us. They pollute our oceans, lakes, soil, air, rain, and even most scarily in our food. Microplastics are commonly found in our oceans, contaminating our aquatic ecosystems, organisms like fish, and even in our drinking water. When marine animals ingest these particles, they move up the food chain, eventually reaching us. What makes this even more concerning is that microplastics don't even biodegrade. They just slowly break down into smaller and smaller pieces over time. Microplastics are hidden almost everywhere in our world, even in places that humans don't inhabit or travel to, with long-term effects that we may not even realize yet. Scientists are still studying and uncovering just how serious this issue really is. Now, as a quick question, we want to hear your thoughts on microplastics. Feel free to answer using the poll or say your guess out loud. How many microplastics are found in the daily to-go coffee cup? Is it A, 10, B, 100, C, 1,000, or D, 10,000 plus? Looks like most of our answers say D, and D is correct. Over 10,000 plastic particles are found in just a simple to-go coffee cup from your favorite cafe. These microplastics are inhaled and ingested into our systems with every sip, so be careful with how much you decide to consume.
Even though microplastics are tiny, their sources are very much part of our daily lives. The first major cause is plastic waste. Items like plastic bags, bottles, and cups don't disappear over time. They break down into smaller and smaller pieces, eventually becoming microplastics that enter our oceans and are even consumed by marine life. The second cause is clothing. Many of our clothes are made from synthetic materials like polyester and nylon. When we wash these clothes, tiny plastic fibers are released into the water. These microfibers pass through drainage systems and end up in rivers and oceans. The third cause is urban waste. Microplastics also come from city dust, things like tire wear from vehicles, construction materials, electronics, and consumer products. These particles slowly degrade and spread into the environment. So, overall, microplastics don't come from just one source. They come from our lifestyle, our cities, and everyday products we often don't think twice about.
Microbeads are solid pieces of plastic that are found in many consumer products, such as facial scrubs, soaps, and toothpaste. When they go down the drain, they easily slip past wastewater facilities and back into our waterways. These can then be ingested by marine animals or slip into drinking water sources. They have been banned in a lot of countries for this very reason. Microfibers are very specific to synthetic clothing, like bedding, towels, and other textile products. A very common source of microfibers is polyester and nylon, which most of us use and wear daily. So let's here have a quick question. How many microfibers are released into our waterways with one load of laundry? Is it A, 10,000, B, 1 million, C, 5 million, or D, over 9 million? Okay, well, I see we're mostly split between 5 million and over 9 million. The majority seems to be 5 million, but the correct answer is over 9 million microfibers. They're released into our waterways after just one load of laundry. As they are unable to be properly filtered out in your washing machine or in wastewater facilities, most of them flow directly into our waterways and eventually our drinking water.
So, in addition to the main causes of microplastics, there are countless secondary and indirect causes that contribute to plastic pollution in our oceans. Firstly, underdevelopment is an extreme issue behind global pollution, as lower or middle income nations or states, especially those that are near or fully surrounded by bodies of water, or the ocean, such as small island developing states, experience large influxes of plastic every year through commercial or industry waste, as well as personal waste, much of which is not disposed of properly, so ends up building up on shorelines with neither the time nor resources to clean it. This significantly harms and impacts the coastal ecosystems and marine life. And for the vast majority of these countries, due to unsafe drinking water, their populations rely on bottled water to survive, or their economies rely on unsustainable or plastic-heavy practices to keep the nation functioning, all by consequence, resulting in high volumes of litter, which then, if a country does not have the proper or sustainable recycling and garbage programs, will only end up eventually in the ocean. This proves how interlinked ocean pollution and microplastics are to broader global issues and why dealing with it requires a holistic approach. Secondly, extreme weather and runoff due to our changing climate is a huge contributor to microplastic pollution. With the growing implications of more extreme weather, such as high rainfall, chances of hurricanes, or intense flooding, just to name a few, this will force plastics in large quantities, either existing already as litter or from any additional damage extreme weather causes, a lot of which will be toxic, to be swept away and into our oceans. Plastics left out or not disposed of properly is it susceptible to become broken down to in pieces we can't even see with our naked eye, proving to be a largely invisible but long-term and serious problem. And thirdly, wastewater systems are also a pressing issue as it is a direct and circular way for microplastics to become prevalent in our food, airways, and oceans, further implicating human health, ecosystems, and overall pollution.
It's question time. What percentage of plastics worldwide are actually recycled? Is it A 9%, B 19%, C 59%, or D 79%? Many people are surprised to learn that the real number is just 9%. And according to the poll, I can see that the highest vote has gone to the 9% only. This shows that this shows why reducing plastic use is just important as recycling. Next, we will be going over the effects on marine life. Firstly, plankton consume plastic. This means that as plastic breaks down, it gets consumed first by some of the smallest organisms in our oceans. These organisms then get eaten by bigger animals who get eaten by bigger animals. and eventually move up the entire food chain. What is even worse is the microplastics can taste good to some zooplankton as they specially eat aged plastic. This means that the longer they stay in our environment, the more consumed the plastic will get. Thirdly, microplastics are also known to disrupt the health of organisms as they can harm reproductive systems, stunt growth, diminish appetite, and cause tissue inflammation. Not only do microplastics affect the health of individual species, but also disrupt the patterns in how marine animals feed, breed, and migrate.
Next, we will go over some human health concerns with microplastics. Microplastics have, in fact, been found in all parts of the human lung, parts of the digestive system, and in our own blood. Our bodies can digest natural polymers like carbohydrates and proteins, but they cannot digest synthetic polymers. Therefore, microplastics remain in our bodies and slowly accumulate over time. This can cause many health issues, including inflammation in the respiratory and digestive systems, a weakened immune system, and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease and neurotoxicity. Worst of all, microplastics have been found in maternal tissues, fetal placental tissues, and human breast milk. This means that mothers can pass microplastics on to their children, elongating the microplastics crisis for generations.
Now we have another question. Feel free to answer using the poll. About how much plastic does the average person ingest in just a week? Is it A, less than 1 gram, B, about the weight of a credit card, C, about the weight of a grain of rice, or D, more than 1 kilogram? Seems like we are split between B and D. Well, the correct answer is B, about the weight of a credit card. This is a lot of plastic to be building up in our body systems on a weekly basis, which is insane to think about. This buildup definitely has long-term and great implications on our own human health.
Now that we understand the causes, the next question is what can we do to help reduce microplastic pollution? One effective step is using sustainable materials, choosing reusable bottles, cloth bags, and bamboo or metal containers, and avoiding single use plastics can greatly reduce plastic waste. Another important action is sustainable laundry use. Washing clothes less often, using cold water, and choosing natural fabrics like cotton can reduce the release of microfibers. While these actions may seem small, when practiced by many people, they can significantly reduce the amount of microplastics entering our environment.
Now what? Don't let this knowledge go to waste. Now that you are aware of the microplastics crisis, educate others in your community. Attending or hosting workshops, talks, and cleanups is a great way to make a positive impact. But the easiest way starts with you. What are you doing that adds to this problem? Are you using any clothes or products that release too many microplastics? Making changes in your lifestyle is the best way to create change. You can also take our Change Our Climate pledge to pledge on exactly how you plan to change our world. Together, we can save our oceans, ourselves, and our future.
I hope you all are encouraged to act out and make a positive impact on our world, and we hope you learned something new today at this webinar. We appreciate you sticking around and hearing from us. Here's a list of all our references, and thank you so much for our time. I would also like to share a link with you to the Plastic Oceans Hub on the Global Collabs website in case any of you would like to join teen or as a mentor adult. And I would also like to share our YouTube playlist on SDG 12, which also highlights other positive videos surrounding the SDG sustainable consumption and production. The world is definitely moving forward on progress, but still requires us all to take small steps and make sustainable change in our lives. If anyone has any questions or closing remarks on microplastics, please put it in the chat or feel free to share anything you learned or any connections you may have to microplastics.
As we have seen today, microplastics are everywhere in our oceans, our soil, even in our bodies. But this is not a hopeless story. For the first time, nations are negotiating a legally binding global plastics treaty under the United Nations Environment Programme. Scientists are innovating, policies are changing, and awareness is growing. The problem is global, but so is the response, and that gives us reason to hope. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
I am so proud of you guys and excited to get going on reducing plastics in my life. Um, I have a couple questions. Do you, I'd like to have others here like share their thoughts about what they're doing to address plastics because I'm looking all the time for ideas on how I can reduce plastics. So maybe those that are here can we could have a conversation about your questions and also what are you doing? Like Serena, I sent you a company that I found that is working on recycling. And I'm going to start looking at buying clothes that are made of natural materials, which is hard to do these days. Do you want to put that company in the chat?
Yeah, of course.
What are other people doing? I see Anne, you're here. Anne Phillips is a friend of mine. Can you share, Anne, what you're doing? I don't know if you're still here.
Yes, I'm here. I'm just trying to undo the video. Hang on. There we go. Um, Thank you guys. I'm also really impressed by your presentation and the comprehensive approach you took to it. What do I do? I try to do everything I can as an individual. I would like to do more advocacy with the DC City Council because the District of Columbia actually has some pretty good regulations on the books, but they're not enforced because they just don't have the resources to enforce them. But what do I do? Everything from, the laundry detergent I use, um, searching for plastic free. It costs a lot more, unfortunately. It's still not the economic alternative, and I'd like to see that change. Um, Through to just never, ever, ever, ever using plastic bags. When I order takeout food, telling them on the phone, please, 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 I don't need utensils. Do not put it in a plastic bag. I have my own bag. When I go to the Eastern market to buy meat or fish, I usually take my own containers for them to put it in, or I have to insist, unfortunately, that they wrap it in paper. It's just the go-to is to put things in plastic. And so they see me coming and they say, oh, okay. And I've got them trained now. Um, I was disappointed to learn laundry sheets I thought were the way to go because they come in a cardboard box and there's no plastic container and they're just basically sheets of paper. But I have since learned from the National Organization Beyond Plastics that actually they contain microplastics and they're really not good for the environment. So I'm using a powdered detergent that is plastic free. So Linda, it's trying to do things I can do on the individual level. Um, but I would like to figure out how to do more effective advocacy to make people aware of things that we all can do that are within our reach. And as you
Well,
guys said, it's not
and
hopeless.
And I'd love for you to come in and meet with the Plastics Hub to talk with them because they're very interested in helping you on advocacy. And in fact, they've written a bunch of letters to local officials on this very topic that Serena and Bhavya and the rest of them can talk about. So
Good for you guys.
let's talk later, but yes, Serena and Bhavya and Samarth and Sharon, you guys did a fantastic job.